Hello again, and thanks for watching the second video. What I'm going to be talking about this time is um, meditation and how that helps. So, for me, when I was younger, especially, I was quite scattered um, and, you know, had a million thoughts racing around um, and that sort of thing. I I knew what meditation was, I think, but I never really did it. And the closest that I ever got was when I did like prayer and stuff because I was raised Christian. And that was kind of similar, but it's not quite the same. Uh, so now what I do is typically when I want to do meditation, I will uh, sit in a chair with a backrest, um, preferably something cushioned, like a dining room chair, something like this one. Put my feet flat on the ground, hands, palms on the top of my legs, sit back and just relax, close my eyes, and the thing that you want to do is not have your brain racing and not be, this thing itches over here or this itches over here, or, you know, uh, there's going to be all kinds of things that your body's going to convince you that needs attention right now. Um, so for the first few minutes, just try to sit there comfortably, or maybe your better position for meditation is lying down. Um, some people find it's easier lying down sideways, maybe on your back or on your front. It all depends on the person as to what the best position for meditation will be. You can look up and read about various positions, especially in yoga. It's a fascinating area of study, and I highly recommend going through and at least familiarizing yourself with the 8 limbs of yoga. So what I like to do is, like I said, sit in the dining room chair, or another chair that's cushioned but has a backrest so I can sit upright. And when I start to get into the meditative state, I like to sometimes I'll be listening to calming music, something soft, mellow, maybe a little classical kind of music, um, even something along the genres of like world music. Uh, there's lots of, for instance, uh, Indian, African, even American music that is like very soft and very pleasant, but without putting you to sleep. So sit there and then you breathe. And of course, everybody breathes, but in in the first steps, you do a fourfold breath, and that is where you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and hold it for 4 seconds. So I'll show you. and do that for a few minutes. It's very effective in helping to prepare your body for meditation. And when you first begin to meditate, you may find it easier to think upon a single object or an item that you imagine in your head. So you can imagine that you have a apple, for instance, just floating there in your head, and you just think of a red, juicy, delicious apple. And don't think about anything else. Don't think about cutting it, putting it on a plate, eating it, or anything like that. Just imagine the image of the apple. As an example, you can use an orange, you can use a stick, a leaf. There are many objects that you can use. Whichever one seems to work for you the best, use that. Some familiar object. And so just keep your mind set on that one object, or even a point of light can help. And so when you do that, don't make it do funny tricks, spin it, and that sort of thing. Just keep the object as it is in your head, imagine it whole, and try and do that for a couple of minutes. And just start with that. And when you get to the point where you're not fidgeting, you're not itching yourself, you're not going, oh, what's that over there, and distracting yourself, or distracting yourself within your own head about, look at what I can do with the apple, or look how good I'm doing with my meditation and various things like that. Just do it for a couple of minutes. Breathe and think on a single object, and let the other thoughts just clear out, so that it's just the idea of the object itself is just there, and nothing else matters. One of my favorite items to use is the image of the moon. You can even go outside during the night and just look at the moon for a few minutes, and just look at the moon. Don't move your eyes. Don't look at anything else around you. I'm sure you're going to want to be warm, so bring a jacket or a blanket, a comfortable position to sit down in, and just observe the moon for a few minutes. And don't move. Don't move. Don't think of anything else. That's one of the things that I like to do. And it works well for meditation. And after a while, I'll close my eyes, and I have that image of the moon like memorized, basically. And then I can meditate using that image. And at some point later on, you can do that without any images or any objects in mind. And you're meditating with a blank slate, and it's just you and the entirety of the universe, and there's nothing in between, because there's no difference between you and I and everything else. We are all interconnected. We are all part of the same system, and every universe, we are all connected to all of them as well. So keep that in mind. And so do the meditations as a precursor to doing any other like rituals and any of the other things that you've heard that magic is. You know, with the wizards and their funny hats, or even if you don't have that sort of image as a magician, and you have a more developed sense of what a magician is, as in you've seen modern day magicians, or you've gone to like a witch's gathering or something like that. That's modern magic, and it can be a lot of fun. And and so before doing any of that stuff, start with breathing and being still, calm, connected with the earth and the sky and everything around you. And from there, we move on to other things that are involved in magic. Thank you.